Hi everybody, we're back with a video about practice. Yes, we're talking about practice today. Those 10 minutes of practice specifically for league or tournaments can be super chaotic. We're really trying to figure out how, one, to get loose to start, but secondly, what ball we're going to throw, where we're going to stand, all this stuff that goes on in only 10 minutes. Especially when you're bowling 5-person leagues, you may only get like 6 to 7 shots in. So I'm going to try to walk you through what to learn as you throw those shots and how to hopefully benefit your scores game one. So when we only get 10 minutes of practice, you have to do a lot of work in a short period of time, all right? It's not like going to the range before you golf and you hit 40 balls. You're literally throwing maybe max 8 shots in those 10 minutes. So I'm only going to throw about 7 or 8 shots for you. I'm going to talk through each shot I throw and what I've learned from it. But it's very important that you get loosened up before you start practice. Those first couple shots are just as important as the last couple, so make sure you're either stretching, getting there early, making sure your ball feels good, all those things before practice lights turn on. That way you're saving yourself some time. But shot one of practice, generally speaking, none of us are really warm, myself included. So my first shot's always going to be as a right-hander, farther to the right, left-hander, farther to the left. Just throwing a shot up the lane nice and slow to try to figure out where the friction is. All right, so after each shot, I'm going to give you guys some checkpoints that you'll see on the screen that will tell you what I learned from that shot, okay? What I learned from that shot specifically is I'm not very warm just yet, number one. Number two is that there's plenty of friction right of 5 at the moment. And number 3, my bowling ball had a bunch of energy at the end of the lane. So that tells me that the back ends are really crisp. And so you guys know, for this video, we are bowling on a fresh house shot. So for my second shot, obviously we're still not totally loose yet. I'm going to throw it slow again, but I'm going to go a little farther left than that. Okay, and so what did we learn? 1, I'm still throwing it kind of slow. 2, my bowling ball went sideways down the lane. And 3, there's way too much friction right there for me to throw it at that speed and be able to hit the pocket. All right, so shot 3, we're generally going to get a little more loosened up. So I'm going to move more into the middle lane now that I've seen some friction. I'm going to try to throw it more my normal speed. All right, so what did I learn? The ball hooked much less than my normal speed, right? I got a little more aggressive there. Secondly, I went around board 13, 14 there, I believe, and there was still too much friction for this ball specifically in that part of the lane. So my next shot, for those of you with multiple bowling balls, I would actually go to something a little smoother or weaker. If you're only using the one bowling ball, I would suggest moving a little farther left or throwing a little harder on the next shot. One of the biggest confidence boosters in bowling is seeing your ball overhook. Always look for friction, see your ball overhook. It's so much more confidence than when you watch your ball underhook. When your ball underhooks or it doesn't hook enough, the next shot you're always going to try to grab more, try to make it hook more. So always look for the friction first and then make adjustments from there. So for the sake of this, I'm going to stay with the same ball. I would normally go to something smoother or weaker just because my bowling ball is going really sideways. But I'm going to move 3 boards left. I'm going to throw it a little harder. And so I learned that it did get farther down the lane, the ball's still a little too sideways. So in this exact case, because I do feel really comfortable moving left, I would move left personally and just start hooking the ball more. There's a lot of friction on the lane right now. For those of you that, again, maybe only have one ball, aren't super comfortable going left, some of the adjustments we could make is, again, trying to throw it even harder than that, or maybe trying to loft it a bit to delay some of the hook. For the case of this, I'm going to show you guys both. The first shot, and I'm on shot 5-ish, so I probably only get like 2 shots left, so it's about time that we start. So I got to make a decision really soon. For the sake of this, I'm going to move 3 left and try to throw a very similar shot. And so there we have it. We got there eventually. It did take 5 or 6 shots. It took us moving across the lane. We found the friction, and now we found some hold. My ball went plenty down the lane, went through the pins really well. Hopefully, if you bowl in the center really often, you're not having to search as much as I just did. You're generally already kind of lined up from the week prior, knowing what you're bowling on. But there are going to be times that, wow, they're hooking way more tonight. Wow, they're not hooking as much tonight. You're going to have to make adjustments on the fly. So these are some of the things that you'll look for to make some of those adjustments. Now, if you are not comfortable moving left, I am going to move back right 3, and I'm going to loft the ball just a little bit to try to delay that hook to give you guys an extra option if you want to try to stay to the right. And so as you can see off of that, that wouldn't be my move personally, but off of that, if I want to throw that shot again, I would actually move farther back right and find more friction, because again, one of the biggest confidence boosters, I'd rather see the ball overhook than underhook like it did there. A lot of things can happen in practice. It does get very chaotic. We obviously always want to start with strikes and get going off to a fast start, but use your practice wisely. Take in some of this information, try to make adjustments, small ones. You know, if you're only having one ball especially, the adjustments just need to keep moving, right? Just keep moving different directions. If you're good at throwing different speeds, try your best. Otherwise, if you have different bowling balls, when you see your ball save that much energy, use a smoother bowling ball. When you see your ball almost like never hooked like that last shot just did and went so far down the lane, throw something stronger. Don't get caught up in one ball because you have new ballitis or it's your favorite ball. There are tools for a reason. Make the changes necessary. Use your practice wisely and hopefully get off to a better start. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a video.